Oh my god, it's Uncle Alberic! Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 online action. Today we're here with another community cast. This is actually Kark going up against Zablaski. I believe this was a game from the tournament that happened Saturday. I'm not 100% sure. If Kark wants to correct me in the comments, feel free to do so. I'm also going to leave a link to Kark's Twitch channel. He streams in, I think, Korean? Honestly, my grasp of Asian languages is not amazing, but I think it's Korean. Yeah, I'll have a link to his Twitch channel regardless down in the description. I have enjoyed watching his streams, even though I can't really understand what he's saying. Very good player, and yeah, definitely a lot of fun. And I mean, he's brought Alberic to a competitive level game, so clearly he's a cool guy. In terms of the rest of the army, we've got a front line of peasant mobs with some peasant bowmen to support, some foot squires, a paladin on foot to kind of support the infantry line. We've got a Damsel Lore of Life, of course, some questing knights, 4 units of them, and the Beast Slayers of Bastogne. For the Lizardmen here, going to be played by Zablaski. He's got 3 Saurus Warriors with shields up front, 2 Skink Cohort on the flanks, 2 units of Saurus Scarvets on Carnosaurs, a Bastildon Revification Crystal, Temple Guard, and good old Lord Mazdamundi, the Toad Lord himself, leading the way for the Lizardmen, and 1 unit of Cold One Riders in the sweeper position. So without further ado, let's get the battle underway as the peasant mobs peasant mobs are moving forward. The archers are opening up fire, taking some pot shots at the Scarvets who come into range there. And yeah, this is the clash of champions right here. Peasant mobs against Skink Cohort, and yeah, these peasant mobs are actually doing all pretty good considering they're fighting Skink Cohort. But yeah, Alberic dives down to try and get some damage done on the Revification Crystal, but this is a huge risk. Mazdamundi's going to drop a net of Ammontok right on top of him, and then it's Monster Mash time for poor Alberic. Overcast Regrowth, I believe, going to be going down on him, giving him extra physical resistance and lots of healing. He also does have Heroic Killing Blow up, so he might be able to tank through all this damage, but this is a lot of just heavy anti-large AP coming his way. Shield of the Old Ones and a Banishment being dropped from Lord Mazdamundi there, and it looks like a Ruination of Cities also going to be going down here, so oh man, absolutely brutal. One of those does cut straight through those Saurus though, which is a little bit unfortunate. Nice rear charge from the Companions of Cornell coming in, doing a good job at helping to clean up the infantry. You can see to that effect, the infantry fight is definitely going to be won by Bretonnia. These foot squires with their anti-infantry, armor piercing, will be able to trade pretty well with Saurus, and there's just way more Bretonian infantry. Just by sheer weight of numbers here, they're going to be able to work through what Lizardmen infantry are here. You can see the Beast Slayers of Bastogne getting in here. They're going to do really well in this combat, honestly. The Saurus Warriors will probably get terrified away by Alberic because, you know, he's super scary. Coming in, getting a nice charge on Mazdamundi himself. Of course, the Carnosaur is going to be immediately responding there. But yeah, it is a very high priority to take out Mazdamundi, considering he does have Apotheosis and is going to be healing these dinos throughout, not to mention this Rev Crystal. So yeah, these Carnosaurs definitely have a good chance of getting their healing cap. In the back line, though, these Cold One Spear Riders getting caught out by a couple units of Questing Knights, going to lose out pretty hard there. So yeah, Bretonnia doing exactly what they need to, just taking out the Lizardmen support units so that then they can then focus on the dinos and get like full surround with their own infantry. That being said, Alberic's taken a ton of damage, getting close to his healing cap. Has been able to get some good damage done, but you know, Alberic against the Lizardmen may be the one place where he has a chance to shine. His bonus versus large of 30 can help him do pretty well against the dinos there. Nice Earthblood going down, catching these Questing Knights, a lot of these Foot Squires, and the Foot Squires are really going to be the key to victory here. They're cutting through the Saurus, and of course these Beast Slayers of Bastogne with their anti-large, since they have the halberds, are going to be very good at finishing off the dinos in the late game. Yeah, the peasant archer is also doing a great job. They really haven't been threatened by anything that Zabloski had brought to the table. Typically, Lizardmen won't have the mobility advantage against Bretonnia, so it will be hard to threaten. So I really like the pick of the archers. Even though they don't have the best AP values, they can still shoot in and get some really nice damage done, certainly. You can see finally the skiing cohort on this side collapsing, and that's going to leave the majority of the Bretonian infantry to come in and start supporting on the center line fight. And you can see Mazdamundi's suffering pretty badly here, despite the fact that he has the Sunburst Standard and his base missile resistance. Just the law of large numbers here means that the volume of fire is still going to do consistent damage to Mazdamundi. Very nice banishment going down though, just tearing through 2 units of peasant mobs and these foot squires here on the side. It looks like Ruination of Cities also going to be going down as well. ALBERIC coming in for one last desperate charge, trying to finish off Lord Mazdamundi. Can he deliver the final blow here? Indeed he does. Mazdamundi beaming back up into space, or wherever he goes, and ALBERIC going to be trying to get back up into the air before the rest of the dinos have a chance to respond. Revivification Crystal's not too happy. Good old Gary here, seeing his buddy Mazdamundi just get stomped like that, is really not happy about the situation. His leadership is not looking too great. ALBERIC taking a risky dive though. There's still 2 Carnosaurs here, which you definitely got to respect, but ALBERIC, you know, knows no fear. He's a true champion of Bretonnia, going to be fighting in here like a true patriot. So yeah, well, looks like he's actually pulling back up into the air for another potential cycle charge. Beast Slayers of Bastogne also doing very well, continuing to fight in here. And at this point, the Lizardmen under Zabloski are going to try and regroup with a lot of their forces. This Damsel Lore of Life in a little bit of distress here, kind of running around, running away from those Carnosaurs. They're not quite fast enough to catch her unless they have the Foe Seeker up, but they're mostly going to want to try and reunify with the rest of their infantry, I think, here. This unit of Temple Guard, unfortunately, is just so caught out here, they're going to get dragged down. But yeah, we'll fast forward a little bit through this mid-game stage here, as there is quite a bit left. Beast Slayers of Bastogne unfortunately get caught out a little bit out of position here. ALBERIC comes in to try and deliver some help, and the Questing Knight's also going to come in. But of course, ALBERIC, anytime he comes down to the ground, is going to face 2 Carnosaurs bashing on him, and it's going to be very, very risky. But Kark doing a great job screening out here. Another really nice Earthblood coming down, especially on these Beast Slayers. That's going to be very, very key. There's also more Foot Squires here, and despite the fact that Foot Squires don't have anti-large, they still have pretty solid weapon strength, so if they can get hits on these dinos, they'll still do pretty good damage. ALBERIC doing another dive here, actually routes off Gary. Poor Gary. But the Cold One Spear Riders coming in from the side, getting a nice charge, staggering ALBERIC, and then allowing the 2 Carnosaurs to come in and finish the job here. So poor ALBERIC goes down. Bretonnia now also without their leadership, so still anyone's game at this point, honestly, although these dinos are in a little bit of a tough situation. This Carnosaur actually being routed off there. The Damsel looks like she's going to go into a pursuit pattern, so yeah, this is a very, very smart play here, using the Damsel to chase off the Scarvet. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit of a ridiculous situation. We're going to get a sort of Congo line with the routing Carnosaur running from the Damsel, who's then running from the not routing Carnosaur, who's then running from a huge horde of peasants. So just a bit of a ridiculous situation here. We'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit as they move towards the edge of the map. And then with the 1 Carnosaur off the map, obviously the Damsel is going to want to get back to her supporting peasants and allow them to take the hits for her. Meanwhile, we do have one more regrouped Saurus Warrior here. The Temple Guard also regrouped with a full 8 unit models. So yeah, they're still on the battlefield. The balance of power has shifted pretty decisively in favor of Bretonnia. We're going to fast forward as Zabloski maneuvers his Carnosaur up and around to try and reunify with what little infantry he has left, which is definitely a smart idea. I mean, this peasant horde, when they get a surround, because a lot of them are going to be hitting the Carnosaur in the back, bypassing its melee defense, the fact that these Foot Squires don't have the best attack stats isn't going to matter quite so much. Damsel taking a risky dive here, though, trying to inflict a rear charge penalty on those Saurus Warriors, which actually is enough to shatter them, despite the fact that, yeah, those Saurus Warriors, despite the fact that Foot Squires routed as well. But these Temple Guard, you know, even though there's only a few of them, they are still pretty pretty dangerous to this damsel, so she's going to want to pull away. And yeah, this unit of archers did a great job using all of its ammo, and now going to pay the iron price here for their duty. So yeah, immediately getting terrified away, no surprise there. But the damsel is trying to finish off these temple guards, managed to get them down to 6, and they are wavering. So yeah, at this point though, this Carnosaur is going to have a pretty tough time unless he can get a hold of this damsel and do a bunch of damage to bring the balance of power back towards the Lizardmen. I don't know that he's going to be able to hold up his leadership against this massive horde of peasants here, but we'll see. I mean, it's definitely looking in favor of Bretonnia at the moment. A rear charge from the damsel comes in. Pretty risky, though. You can see he's turning around to do the tail swipe, which means Zablaski just needs to issue an order, and he does, to attack the damsel, and only a few hits are going to get her very, very low on HP. So yeah, if we take a look here, she was at full health more or less before that engagement, and now down to about quarter or less HP there. So pretty rough stuff, but that has allowed the peasants to come in and start to do a bit of damage here. The temple guard are shattered, so it's only this Carnosaur left. And I mean, he could cycle charge if he wanted to, but I believe tournament rules stipulate that if you only have one single entity model left, you have to fight with it. So you can't just like continuously pull out and cycle charge, but he is going to be trying to hunt down high value targets, which is certainly smart. But this one heroic unit of foot squires that still has a full 41 unit models left, they're going to be continuously getting hits. The few beast slayers of Bastogne that are in here are also using their halberds to good effect here. A nice Earthblood, very clutch Earthblood coming down from the regrouped damsel there. Going to keep these true heroes, these foot squires, fighting here. They're going to finish off this Carnosaur's leadership, just doing a bunch of armor-piercing damage. And yeah, the Carnosaur taking his final dive here, going to be going after the damsel. She might honestly just countercharge here to hold him in place long enough for the remaining units to deal their damage, but yeah, for all intents and purposes, this is a victory for Bretonnia. Just a matter of time before the Carnosaur loses out on its leadership. So very well played to both players. Hope you guys enjoyed watching that one. Very high level game, and at the same time, ALBERIC. How about that, huh? Yeah, very fun battle. In terms of the breakdown here, ALBERIC getting some decent damage done, diving in on Mazdamundi. Of course, the two Carnosaurs were a lot for him to deal with, and that net and him just getting gangbanged was really, really rough. But the damsel and the paladin I didn't really catch too much of, but he was doing a good job just saturating that infantry fight, using his anti-large to poke away at the dinosaurs. And then, of course, the damsel being super clutch in the late game there. Foot squires, honestly, a pretty solid choice potentially in this matchup. You know, I typically go with mostly cavalry builds, but there's something to be said for the cheaper foot squires. Now that they're only 650, pretty cost effective, honestly. The beast slayers of Bastogne, of course, very good pick in this matchup. Peasant bowmen did some good work as well, just kind of whittling away at the large units of the Lizardmen, and then the questing knights getting some nice side and rear charges, all doing quite well for themselves. Mazdamundi, as expected, with those area of effect damage spells, racking up a ton of kills against peasant infantry. Both the Saurus also did pretty well in terms of kills. They definitely were able to take down ALBERIC, just unfortunately not before he was able to take down Mazdamundi. So that in and of itself was a little bit rough. You know, the Carnosaur is definitely good against Bretonnia. I probably would cut one just to be able to go a little bit wider with the army, though. In terms of the army itself, the infantry line was just a little bit too thin to hold up against all the foot squires and everything, and the questing knights and so on, so ended up just kind of getting his dinosaurs isolated and dragged down through attrition. The fact that Mazdamundi was taken out means that he couldn't heal through that very late game stage. Losing out on the Cold One Spear Rider is also a pretty rough engagement, and the Revivification Crystal, of course, also got routed off before it could use all of its charges, so that in and of itself is pretty rough, but still, very well played to both players. Super fun game. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button, so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.